Hi, I'm Danny from Angler Tackle and Gun. Welcome back to Tip Tuesday. Today we're going to go over pre-charge, how they work, how we can maintain them from home, nice things to keep a gun running nice and smooth, simple. Hopefully I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to watch me take this gun apart so I can show you how it works. Right. If I'm nice and careful, take this off without everything jumping out. There we go. Put that to one side. I'll put the bolt back in. This is inside a pre-charge, which is the Walther RM8. What we have here is we've got our bolt. This is our mag indexer. This is our hammer. And this is our safety on the back. Trigger, sears, and then your hammer spring. To make my life easier, I'm going to take off these bits. So that's the safety gone. Just for now, the hammer spring's out. And this one as well. Because they like to bounce around everywhere. Right. So currently, bolt is closed. Slide this back. If you have a look, the hammer is moving back with it as well. That's going to go back past, I'll push that manually, past the trigger sears, and that's now locked. So that would be normally under tension from the hammer spring. So what we then do, so that's going to stay there like that, and hopefully everything doesn't just jump out again. That's going to slide in like that. You lock that down, but we'll just leave it open for now. So at the moment I can't push that forward because of the trigger sears. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this down. That would then be under tension, so that would be flying forward. So that flies forward and hits that valve, which is here. That valve is then connected to the air reservoir. So air, so as soon as I push that forward, if I can. Yeah. So when that hits, a small amount of air comes up to here. The pellet will already be in the barrel, but so basically air comes up, pushes the pellet down the barrel. Now it's nice and easy how a pre-charge works. To clean the exterior of an air gun, most of them are the same. If you are in the field or you've been shooting or whatever and you've been holding your barrel, you get finger marks there all over the place. There you go. So what you need is to clean it off. You can, if you want to do a deep clean, use a degreasing spray and then redo it with silicone oil, or you can get silicone oil and put it on a silicone cloth. So this is a Tipton one. So all you got to do is just wipe the finger marks off, give it a good clean. My hand's covered in silicone now. And that will give the gun a good coating and covering of not too much, but just enough silicone so you can store it away. To be fair, you can also use silicone on the stock, but it comes up as well. But try and keep one cloth for metalwork, one for your woodwork if you're going to do that. Cleaning inside the barrel can be done a couple of ways. One of the easiest ways to do it is get some of these wads, basically, load them up in here. You can soak a couple with like this sort of stuff or power lube. Sounds a bit dodgy, but either or, you can put them in here, load them up, shoot them through, shoot a couple of dry ones through just to clean it out. That's one way of doing it. The other way is rods. So rods like this. We use the Tipton one up here, but it's massive. Right. Whee. So that's the one we tend to use. And basically all you do, screw onto here, screw onto the end, and you push that down the barrel. Make sure that that's open. Push that down there, and then you can pull it back out. You can lube these up before with like some form of cleaning, like power thing, or your pellet lube. Pellet lube will do it as well. Put that there. One of the more popular ones is a pull-through kit. I'm going to see if I can do some magic and make it appear there. But basically with that, all you do is you put the tip down here. So basically it's a wire, goes down here, and then you've got your little patches. You fold your patch up, you can either soak it in this stuff, or you can soak it in, yet again, the pellet lube. And then you pull that back down, nice and tight, until that's clean. You do that 3 or 4 times, then do a couple of dry ones, and then you're done. Just a quick note while we're here. Try and keep your mags as clean as you can. Any crap that goes in here, goes in your barrel, point at the barrel, goes in your barrel. Also as well, they won't operate as well. So if I spin this around, this is an air arms one, it's an old air arms one, bless it. But you can start to see, if I find that right, the seals are starting to go. It won't take long for that to snap, and then that'll be useless. You then have to take it all apart, which isn't that hard to be fair, but you have to take it all apart, get a new O-ring for it to work properly. Otherwise they'll just fall through, and it's just a hassle if you're out in the field. Same with these sort of ones, because they rely on O-rings to hold them in. Then if you can, just keep these clean. You can lubricate them every now and then, but just be careful. I think this is a Daystate one of the new ones. These ones are done by tension, so they don't hold in by, I don't think they hold in by, no they don't. So yeah, these are done by tension. So if you can see that bit there, so if I do it from the bottom, nope. Let's turn that over, there we go. So that will lock that one in. So it's done under tension. Obviously there is set tension so as not to damage the pellet. You can loosen them off if you know how to, but keep them clean. This one's covered in a bit of lead, so if you can keep it clean, better. Woodwork, what I'd recommend doing is take the action out of the stock before you do anything. So like this is my one, so I don't really care too much. But some stocks, for example, like the super shiny ones, silicone cloth, wipe it down, exterior is fine. Walnut stocks, they can dry out quite a bit. So what you want to do is grab some oil. So walnut oil, there are other oils as well. And personally, let's put that in my hand. He says, oh dear God, or to spill everywhere. Right. And then just rub it in. Use your hand or cloth. I'll probably put a bit too much on. Before anyone gets too excited about rubbing wood. Behave. That's way too much. Way too much. But anyway, right, rub it in. Try and get it warm if you can, because that'll open up the pores slightly. And I need to wipe off the excess. And thanks for Dave, I've got a rag. I say, take it out of the action first. Don't do what I just done. Because what you can do is you can build up the layer upon layer, and eventually your action gets stuck in the stock. I've only had it once, and I had to physically break them apart. The locals will know who I'm on about. But yeah. The other style of stocks is like the GRS stocks. They are like a laminate. Well, they are a laminate, not like a laminate. They are a laminate. So they actually need an oil. I'm not going to do it now because I've just put walnut oil everywhere. But they prefer a Danish oil. So from factory they are used with Danish oil. So take the action out, separate stock, Danish oil, let it dry out, buff off the rest. You can use other bits and bobs. So if I grab these, a true oil. So this one will make it not waterproof. I believe there's a polymer in there which will protect it from the rain, but there's certain ways of using this. There's a lot of people that do videos and that sort of stuff on that. We can do one if you really want us to. You've got wax, which obviously makes it waterproof. Silicone oil will also protect it as well to a degree. But yeah, hopefully this answers a few questions on how to maintain a rifle internally, externally. You don't need to do a lot internally. It's only if it gets wet, if you take it in the rain, same thing. But yeah, so exterior, silicone cloth, silicone oil, seals, keep them lubricated, silicone grease, silicone lube. The woodwork depending on the stock that you have. So if, for example, it's a nice shiny stock like this, just a silicone cloth will do. If you've got like a day state and they've got like a lacquer, same silicone cloth. If you've got a GRS stock, use a Danish oil. If you've got walnut, use walnut oil. There are other oils you can use, like an alkanet oil that has got a red hue in it. So that does make it a bit darker. So there's a few bits and bobs. But that is all for today's Tip Tuesday.